supposed to even read this? The lettering is so small. Oh, hi! You just caught me reading one of my favorite books, The Godfather, by Mario Puzo. I'm just reading this book to remind myself that I am never going to review the Godfather movies. Seriously, I'm never going to do it. Please don't request it. But it's also because... Okay, fine, I was reading The Handmaid's Tale. What do you want from me? See, this is exactly what I do when I don't know what to review next. I just sit back and read about dystopian labor. That says chapter 16. I'm getting impatient. I'm gonna see if there's anything on Netflix that catches my eye. Okay, I'm done with Netflix forever, and I have no idea what to review next. Which, can you blame me? Last week I had to subject myself to the horror that was Anna and the Moves. Not to mention that the whole thing took an entire week to complete, and I wasn't even sure if I even wanted to release it once I was finished with it. So how am I supposed to follow up what was pretty much my magnum opus?
Hi, I'm Nicky Fruit, and welcome to Fat Guy.
Yeah, on a second thought, that's not going to work either, so let's take a look at a movie about a guy traveling on a tractor instead.
The Straight Story was released in 1999 and was very divisive upon release. What is it, like the third time I've said that this month? This movie is about it fell down. This movie is about an old farmer named Alvin who's informed that his brother is slowly dying and wants to meet up with him one last time. Knowing that he can't drive due to his poor eyesight, he decides to instead make the journey by his tractor. Very, very slowly. And that's about it. Sure, he does meet up with some other people every once in a while, but most of the time, it's just him on his little tractor. And that's it. And I know what you may be saying. What is the point of reviewing something that sounds so monotonous, boring, or even insufferable? Well, for it being nearly 2 hours of nothing but a guy riding on his lawnmower, it's pretty sweet. You can definitely feel the welcoming nature of Richard Farnsworth's performance here, and some of the conversations he has with most people are downright beautiful. It's not trying to win any awards, it's just a simple, heartwarming, G-rated Disney movie. That's very nice coming from a movie that's directed by... Oh. Yeah, don't make me think that I forgot to mention this, but this may be his most uncharacteristic film to date. Don't get me wrong, there are some occasionally weird moments like Alvin coming across this woman who's panicking over the dead deer that she totaled her car with, and then just leaves like nothing had happened at all, and we never see her again. But they're few and far in between compared to something like Twin Peaks, which is chock full with some of this stuff. But you know what is very prominent throughout the movie that we've come to expect from David Lynch at this point? The cinematography. It is absolutely stunning, and it makes up for the pretty boring landscapes. The soundtrack done by Angelo Badalamenti, may he rest in peace, is absolutely inspiring, and was pretty much the movie that got me into music composition. Which just so happens to be very early in my life, since this was the first ever film I ever saw. I guess we all have to start somewhere, I suppose. And then there's the ending, which, if I ever get a chance to make a top 10 best movie endings, this would most definitely make it on there. It made you feel the love and dedication that Alvin had for his brother, and it made the whole journey worth it, despite how much it would have sucked to have been on that tractor for days on end. It's an emotionally tender way to end a movie like this, and made all that build-up absolutely worth it. Unlike another one of my favorite movies, The Big Lebowski, where all that build-up just led to nothing, The Straight Story is the opposite. It starts off as one of the most tedious and boring movies in existence that could be the equivalent of watching your chia pet grow, but by the end it all makes sense. Or it doesn't, either way it's understandable. It is David Lynch after all. And that right there is how I would sum up this whole movie. It's kind of like we were all going to the World's Fair, where the meaning of the whole movie would sort of be lost in translation depending on who watches it, but hey, it doesn't matter if you liked it or hated it, but you could at least say that you found it interesting. And that's the key word here. Interesting.
I know there are a bunch of other keywords that would sum up this movie perfectly, but interesting's the main one in my eyes. It's not getting invested in this guy's journey that's the problem. It's the way it's shot and edited that gives off an illusion of pointlessness. But at the same time, there's some massive heart behind it, with the heartfelt conversations with the people Alvin comes across the first half hour, and of course, the obscenely beautiful ending. This movie doesn't have a deeper meaning, and quite honestly, I don't think it should. It's just a simple story about a man on his lawnmower, and it's beautiful.
So yeah, that was The Straight Story. Overall, not one of Lynch's best films, but it made me feel a sense of hope and warmth, unlike the previous one we covered. That's all I really have to say for now, other than... Actually, I don't really have anything else to say. See y'all later.